But you may not be able to understand the pressure that is upon the pastor, the responsibility that is upon the pastor. And I know many times there are folks that are saying, well, why does little stuff like that matter to him? Why does he get bent out of shape sometimes over this thing or that thing? You remember last Sunday morning when I was talking about your greatest fear? And what your greatest fear is usually the thing that you love the most. And I equated it to our families and my wife and my daughter that I love so precious and dearly. My greatest fear is something happening to one of those ladies in my life. I don't know what I would do. I don't know how I would react. I know that there have been people that have made comments and remarks to my wife when we've been out places. And it's everything that I can do to not lay hands on somebody. And I'm not talking about in prayer. It's everything that I can do not to lay my hands on somebody. When we're leaving a game the other night and some guy drives by and barks at her out the window, I want to chase the truck down and drag him out and teach him what being a man is like. When that comes over, you're like, well, the same fear that I have for that family is the same fear as the pastor I have for this church. All the thought of getting a letter from God saying, I'm sorry, but you failed at this. I'm sorry, but you lost sight of what you were supposed to be doing. I've been standing at the door and knocking, and you've not paid attention to me. You have failed in your duty. Your church has failed in its job. Your church is no longer successful and useful. Oh, to receive word like that, I cannot imagine what it would be like. I know there's folks all around that look and say, well, I wouldn't do the things that way that the preacher does, and I definitely wouldn't have said that, or I wouldn't have preached that, or I wouldn't have done that. All I can tell you, sometime try to pastor a church and love the people as much as you have to, and love the church and the facility and the songbooks and the Bibles and the instruments and the pulpit, this God-blessed pulpit, the sacred desk that has had men of great renown standing behind it, and have that placed in your charge to not fail and fall asleep at the wheel, and you would be nervous about it too.